I was in my senior six
Mm.
vacation. As very scared, as terrified. I grew up in a Christian family. Myself was a very, very staunch Christian when I was growing up. But it happened to me
Yeah.
that the day I lost my virginity, the day I conceived, and
Oh,
I did not
wow.
know. So later, as a young child, as a young girl, later, like after 2 months, 3 months, I wasn't seeing my periods. I was like, what's happening? And I was there, like very innocent, eating, playing, not knowing that someone is growing inside me. By the time I got to know,
It's
my baby was
amazing.
like 3 months.
Karibu.
No way.
Musibire muta. Mwasibye mutya. Amahoro. Agandi. Bible. Habari gani? Muraho. Sangonini. Kopango. Odeo. For those of you who are wondering what that was, these are some of the various local greetings found in East Africa's diverse languages. Welcome to SheCentre, the female podcast, where I dive into the issues and experiences that affect women everywhere. I am your host, Resti Kansime, and I am passionate about creating a safe space for women to share their stories and triumphs. I want to thank you for tuning into my podcast, and I would love for you to join our community and stay connected with us beyond this episode. You can find us on Instagram at the_SheCentre_podcast and follow us on Facebook at the SheCentre Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and hit that follow and like button on our social media to be part of the conversation. Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode of SheCentre, the female podcast. I am happy to have you back. Happy Monday. I just had my interview with our guest today, and it is the 8th of March, which is Women's Day. So happy Women's Day, happy International Women's Day. I already put my post out there to all the women on my social media, but I just want to let you guys know that I am really inspired by women because I was raised by a whole clan of women. I was raised by a single mom who did amazing work, and her sisters and her friends who stepped in when she wasn't able to. So I am one of those people who love women. Like, I am a huge fan of female empowerment, and we are strong. We are mothers. Like, we gave birth to the nation. We are mothers. We do so much with the power that's within us. God has created us in such a unique and beautiful way. And sometimes what we see as weaknesses, God is showing us that it's not a weakness. It is power that is living within us. And therefore, I am hoping that as a woman out there who is listening, that you can move in the power that you possess and be able to make that impact that you were created to make. So, yes, a quick reminder, guys. I would like to please ask you to, wherever you're listening to this, or if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. I am begging you guys. I really need to push this content out there. I've only been doing video podcasting on YouTube for a short time. I think it's about 6 months or so. And it's been an amazing journey, but I want to grow. And I know that in many cases, I personally have grown so much on YouTube, watching YouTube videos and learning from everything that people are posting. And in many cases, you're so interested in finding out the content or just listening because the algorithm has brought it up, or watching it because, you know, you need their content. And there are many times when I forget to like and subscribe, even if I feel like that content is really good. And the interesting thing is, like, when you subscribe, when you like, that content is recommended to other people who are similar to you. So that's why I guess people always ask, I'm new to this whole thing. That's why people always ask for you to like, subscribe, and comment. It really goes a long way in helping the person who is making that content. I do go through a lot to make this content. I am my own producer. I am my own editor. I do everything personally. I have to reach out to the people. So guys, just the least you can do is, you know, give me some love and comment, like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you're listening to this on audio, you can also do that. Yes, I think that's all I wanted to say with regards to that. Yeah, I shared earlier or a few seconds ago that I was raised by a single mom. My mom was a teen mom. She got pregnant, I think, at the age of 19 and had my sister, I think, at age 20 or something like that. She shared her story. If you want, you can scroll all the way down to the first season. We're answering the question, what happened to you? I think her episode is the second one after mine. So there's the trailer, my episode, and then my mom's episode. She was my first guest and she shared her whole journey. If you're interested in listening to that, you can scroll down and listen to that and get to know how I was raised, because it's so dramatic. But the reason why I'm saying this is because my mom is so dear to me, and single moms, teen moms are very dear to me. My mom had me when she was like, my sister was the firstborn who she had when she was really young, and then I came shortly 2 or 3 years later, almost 3 years later. And it has impacted the person that I am today, how I see the world, being raised by a mom who was, young and trying to figure things out, because eventually she had to do it on her own. And my guest today is someone who has experienced it not so long ago. Just, I think, about 6 years ago or 7 years ago, she went through what my mom went through. She got pregnant when she was in her senior six vacation. And you guys, this has been a very, very, it was one of the most beautiful conversations that I've had in this season, because she's shared so much stuff that has made me realize, like, seeing it from my mother's perspective, how life was and how she is really trying to make an impact. So I will just give you a short intro. I don't want to make any mistake. So my guest today is Shillah Blessed Ainembabazi. She is a Vice Guild President at Victoria University. She just won. Go girl. She recently won the election. She is also a news anchor at Tayari West TV, and she is the CEO of Blessed Events and also the co-founder of Mindspark Cards. She is a mother of two, guys, mother of two at the age of 26. And this girl is already doing amazing. She is even planning to run for power in politics, in the political space. I'm a political scientist. I did think at some point in my life that I would be running for MP and stuff. Maybe I can never say never, but I think right now I'd see myself more of like a political analyst, but I'm more social. Politics back home is kind of scary sometimes, but this is the second politician that I'm bringing into the platform because I had Honorable Margaret Muhanga Mugisa, and now I am bringing someone who is an aspiring politician. She wants to run for power, I think, in the next election. That's probably next year. And she is someone who is doing amazing work. I was introduced to her by my little cousin who is in the same university as her, and I reached out to her and said, "Hey Sheila, I've heard your story. Can you please come onto the show and share your experience, because I know there are people out there who need to hear this." And I would tell you that my mind was blown. This girl is so young. I am like, I don't know how many years, 9 years older than her, and she was speaking wisdom. And I guess that goes to show that we grow through our experiences, no matter how bad, they shape the person who we become better. And that's only if we make the decision to turn the other page and not get stuck. So Sheila is going to share about her journey, how she ran away from home after getting pregnant, and how she wanted to get another baby, and how she ended up, just know the story is just amazing. I'm sure you guys are going to love it, and you are going to love Sheila. So yes, tune in until the end, because Sheila is dropping some serious wisdom. I know you're going to enjoy it, and I've been really, really blessed by this conversation. Thank you so much, Sheila. This was such a blessing, and I know that you are going to do big things. I love you guys. Enjoy the episode. Bye for now. Hi Sheila, how are you doing?
Hi, Risky. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. How happy Women's Day. We're recording this on Women's Day. Happy
Yeah,
Women's
I'm
Day.
privileged to have such a chance on
Yes,
Women's Day. Our
definitely,
day.
definitely.
Yeah. Happy
Yes, our
Women's Day to
day.
you too. And I'm
Thank
very
you.
proud of what you're doing.
Thank you. You too. I don't know much about what you are doing, but I know Gloria said a little bit of stuff that you're always up and about. She's posting you all the time on her status. So I'm excited to get to know you and to find out more about what you're doing. And congratulations, by the way. I saw that you won.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank
Congratulations.
you,
That's
thank you.
really good. Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So, just to give like a quick intro, I do this with every guest because I feel like with every guest, there's a different way to introduce my listeners to the podcast. Um, so this podcast is part of a bigger picture to build a digital female platform. And while I work on the website and finish up with everything, I figured, you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And also, sometimes it's good to put the word out there. But at the same time, I am a person who is doing research. So in these conversations, I'm getting to know what I need to include in the website and how I can be able to enhance on what my idea was of female empowerment. But at the same time, I also want to pursue my PhD. And I feel like along the way, I realized that I might actually use these recordings as my in-depth interviews. So while I was recording people in the first year, I asked the question, what happened to you? Because I felt like it's important for people to hear other people's stories. When you listen to someone's story, you see yourself, you get healed, because that's how I'm finding healing in listening to people's stories. And then I was like, you know what, it's getting boring asking what happened to you. The episodes were long because everyone had like, you tell your whole life story. So it's like, it was so amazing. But I felt like I needed to find another angle to ask another question. So this season, I'm asking, are you living in your purpose? Because I feel like, ever since 2020, there's a way people have this awakening of, oh my God, like I need to do something that I'm passionate about. And we're seeing people doing things that they love. You find someone is a banker, but at the same time, they're a content creator, they're doing this. So sometimes, like, you have this idea, like you're like, okay, this person loves plaiting hair. Is it their purpose? Is this? So I feel like many of us are trying to figure it out. And it was very important for me to make that my second season. So I'm always looking forward to finding out about new people, young people like you, to find out how are you thinking about purpose. When I was your age, I was not thinking about politics in school. I was just having a blast, by the way. I was just at campus having a blast. And now when I see young people doing so many things, and I'm like, oh my God, I missed out on so much, but maybe that was my path
That was your
and
part.
I learned a lot from it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to be like, I
Not to
wish I could go
regret.
back and actually, exactly. But sometimes I'm like, Resty, what did you do at campus, really? But that's my experience and it's unique to me because my path has led me here.
Yeah, yeah.
It has led me to the SheCentre podcast, and I know everyone has something. So that's exactly what I want people who are young, the older people, to know, that you don't have to look at someone and think, oh, I wish I had done my life like this differently. I like just start from where you are and continue and see what bigger picture your life is. So the question I am answering is, are you living in your purpose? And I start out by asking my guests, do you feel that you're living in your purpose right now? And how has your journey shaped this sense of purpose for you? And maybe you can start out by introducing yourself for the guests who are listening, and tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and then we can, because I think that usually gives us like an idea of whatever you're going to say after.
Yeah, sure. All right.
Yeah.
First of all, I really thank God. I know for sure. I'm a Christian. I know that there's nothing under the sun that happens for no reason. So I know
Sure.
that there's a reason why this podcast is happening today, and actually
Definitely.
on Women's Day. I actually had not thought
Yes,
about it. I thought about it today. I was like,
me
hold on.
too.
So this,
Because we had planned to meet earlier, like previously, but we weren't able to until today.
name is Shillah Ainembabazi. I usually use Shillah Blessed on my social media handles. That's Instagram. I use Shillah Blessed, and my TikTok page I use Shillah Blessed, even on X. And I have quite a following. I was telling you earlier that I thank God that we are doing this on Saturday. I feel like it was already aligned. We just had to show up.
Very true.
So another
Yeah.
thing about me, I am 26 years of age. I am a student. I'm a news anchor. I work with a TV. It was earlier named Sky TV, but it was bought and now it changed its name. The management changed and it's now called Tayari West. It's based in Barara, but we have a branch in Kampala. So I'm a news anchor by
Okay.
profession. I'm also a businesswoman. I deal in decorations. I'm a decorator.
Wow,
Um,
nice. Are you based in Mbara for this or?
no. I'm in Kampala. I'm based in Kampala.
Okay,
Mm.
okay, okay.
And I am a mother of two children. I have a daughter.
Two? Wow.
I have a daughter
Wow.
and a son. Yeah,
Wow.
my daughter is called Oprah Itungo. She's 6 years old now,
Nice.
and my son is
That's a very powerful name.
yeah, my son is called King, Ankunda King. He's also 4 years now.
Okay.
I'm a single
Mm-hmm.
mother.
Mm-hmm.
I think about your question. I am living my purpose, but I did not wake up one day and just started living my purpose. When I was
Mm-hmm.
young, I wanted to be a news anchor. That was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
I would be all the
Wow.
time. I wanted to just see people. I would be on TV, and at a young age, remember people are watching cartoon. They are looking for those shows that
Mm-hmm.
music, something like that.
Mm.
Me, I would be
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
for anchors. I'll be waiting for news.
Wow.
I'll be on BCC. I'll be on those Al Jazeera. I'll just be there, and people would not understand. Like as a young girl, how are you watching those things?
Mm.
But I was very invested in
Yeah.
it. I liked it. I would. By the time I can you can imagine, I became an anchor without even the papers because I
Mm.
knew what to do. I just grew up watching these things. I made research. So by the time I
Wow.
walked in the interview room, they asked me, "Oh, can you anchor?" I told them, yes, I can. I with no papers. Meanwhile, no papers. They're like,
Wow.
you can anchor. I was like, yeah, I can. So they're like, okay, you give us like they gave me 2 minutes, and they're like, what?
Mm.
How? I was like, yeah, I
Yes.
just grew up.
Wow.
I loved it when I was young, so I invested. I would just want to watch news anchors. I loved it,
Mm-hmm.
and I eventually
Mm.
just became an anchor without knowing.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear.
Yeah. So as I conceived my daughter when I was 19 years, and I was
Mm-hmm.
young. Really, I was in my senior six
Mm.
vacation.
Mm.
As very scared as terrified. I grew up in a
Mm.
Christian family. Myself was a very staunch Christian when I was growing up, but it happened to me
Yeah.
that the day I lost my virginity, the day I conceived, and
Oh,
I did not
wow.
know. So later, as a young child, as a young girl, later, like after 2 months, 3 months, I wasn't seeing my periods. I was like, what's happening? And I was there, like very innocent, eating, playing, not knowing that someone is growing inside me. By the time I got to know,
It's
my baby was
amazing.
like 3 months in my womb. And I could not tell my mom. I could not tell my mom. Like, that's the least thing
Mm.
she expected of me. So I talked to a few friends
Mm-hmm.
of mine, and they are in Kampala. By the time I was in the village, they were like,
Mm-hmm.
"Okay, Sheila." I told them I'm pregnant and it's 3 months. Even the person who I had something with was really young, like my age. We were just young children there. So
You didn't know what you were
we didn't
doing.
know what we were doing, didn't know what we wanted. That's actually the list. I
Yeah.
think among all the things we wanted, that was the list. So I ran away from home. I came to Kampala, but I
Wow.
had come to Kampala to see my friends so that we can get a solution. Because for them, they were
Mm-hmm.
at campus, they were in Kampala, they knew what to do. So I came, when I
Mm-hmm.
reached, they advised me to try an abortion. I was like, yeah, I think I should do that because I could not imagine myself pregnant, my mom knowing, my family. I could not
Mm-hmm.
imagine
Mm-hmm.
also
Mm-hmm.
aborting my dreams and all that. So until like
Mm.
we organized as a group of girls, they're like, okay, this day we are going. I'm like, yeah, we are going. So on the day we are supposed to go, like tomorrow, I went to sleep in the night, but then I prayed. After praying, I slept. When I slept, I had a very terrifying dream. I had a terrifying dream that I got a baby and I was throwing that baby in a pit, and the baby went crying,
Wow.
telling me, help me, help me. in the dream. And and I woke up very terrified and very terrified. And when I woke up like this, it was like a sign. I don't know. Some people don't
Oh,
really.
you can't go ahead after that.
It was like a sign that God was warning me, like,
Yes.
please, please.
Wow.
So when I woke up, I told these people. I woke up shouting, like very terrified. I was even sweating. So I told my friends, I think God just talked to me. They're like, please, what is that? It's just you're scared. I told them, no, no. I told them that dream was very vivid. That was God. That was God talking to me direct. I was like, okay. They left me. They're like, okay, whatever suffering you're going to go through, it's on you. I was like, it's on me now. It's fine. But this is a person who ran away from home. I did not have a phone. My mom didn't know where I was. I just stayed in Kampala. And one day, I think that warning I took has changed. That was like a turning point in my life. If I still feel like if I did not keep this baby and have her, things would have gone worse in my life. But since that day,
Yeah.
God has been doing, like, something leads to another, another leads to another, another leads to another. And I had the baby. To cut the long story short, I got a job. I got during COVID is when I had my son. Then I was a little mature. I knew what I was doing. I was like, okay. When I got pregnant, I was like, let me keep this baby. And I told God I want a son. This was like that was like 22. Then I had my son, and I was like, oh. Then after going through all that phase now of being there, you just told me you had that phase when you were at campus and you didn't know what you're doing. So this is my phase now. I did not know what I was doing. I just wanted babies. I didn't know what I'm going to do with the babies. I did not think about after the baby, after the baby is coming. What am I going to do? Who am I having the babies with anyway? I was just there doing things. I don't know what I was doing. I just don't know. I had no plan B. I wasn't thinking about anything. I just got pregnant.
You
I
just
have my
wanted
baby.
babies.
Now that is it. Then later, of course, later, I think that was 2023. Yeah, now I'm growing. Now I was 24, and now my eyes are opening. I'm getting a little exposure because I was working with Stanbic Bank, just as at the reception, but my eyes kept opening, like to a new kind of life. I'm like, oh, so people are like this.
Yeah.
Actually, before you have babies, you should be planned. You should have planned. Oh,
Finances.
I'm like, oh, so you shouldn't just go around having babies with anyone before you know who they are, what plans do they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
for their future, which purpose do they have, are they strong enough or committed enough to work towards fulfilling their purposes, things like that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so my eyes kept opening and opening, and I found out the people I had babies with were far away from becoming who I wanted in a husband. So I was like, now, okay. So, but I got the courage. I prayed about it. I told God to give me the courage to go back and carry out and pick myself, my young self, who was ambitious, who wanted to become someone, and pick her from there, pick her up again, and try to work towards becoming who I wanted to become before all those things happened. I prayed about it
Yeah.
and I got courage from nowhere. I don't know where. I cannot tell you that one day I woke up and felt courage. No, I just told God, just take the lead. Show me. I mean, just take the lead. From where I was working, and then I thought about now going. I just moved to that TV station. I told them I can be an anchor. They're like, how? They're like, where are your papers?
What is the experience?
I had Form 6 papers. I saw that. They were like, but Form 6, they're like, people are graduates. They come here to look for jobs they don't
Yeah.
even have. So what makes you think you can become an anchor? I told them, because I know. I know.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, fine. I tried. I trained in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They gave me a set. They're like, oh, I think we think you can do it. I was on set, and then the rest
Wow.
has been really, really history. Actually, right now, the other TVs be wanting me, but I want to first create a good working experience with the TV I started with, because they gave me a chance. And
Yes,
also
they
with
took a
time,
chance
when
with
I
you.
grow, I
Yeah.
can now allow, like, I don't want someone to hire me when they just feel like they're helping. I want to be like, oh, you're hiring me. This is who I am.
They
To
need you.
carry that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they want
yeah.
you.
So I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I started working. Then I was like, now I know what I'm doing, but I don't have papers. I had to resume school. I woke up one day. I
Mm,
think
mm,
every year when the year starts, those things of writing down prayer requests, I would write going back to school in every prayer request every year, but I would not go back to school. The year
mm,
would just end. I have not
mm,
gone back. So one day I
mm,
was there. I was like, but why don't I go back to school? It's because I have not even moved up at any university to look for admission. I don't know what courses. Okay, I
mm,
knew I wanted to do journalism,
mm,
but I've never tried any university. I just woke up one day and I was like, I moved to Victoria University. I got my
mm.
admission. I started studying. I'm in my second year right now, and
Wow.
1 year to go. And also growing up, I used to be a leader through, like, in my high school. Everywhere I was the head
In high school,
girl.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm,
when
mm-hmm,
I joined the university, I became part of it. Now I started feeling the vibe of campus. Do you know I feel
mm.
younger?
You know, we're like, which children, which mother? Who is the mom here?
I feel younger, like, oh my god, some like those new like the freshers. You find them
Mm.
thinking we are the same age. When I tell them I'm a mother of two children, they're like, no, 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 no.
Your plot is different. But that's so amazing. That's amazing. You've said so much, and I'm really happy that you've shared like this background of your story. But I think what I'm hearing from you is your life experience. Like you've connected to where you are right now is connected to the mistakes that you made and how and maybe you can share a little bit about your leadership in the university. How has this, because I know by the time you're leading, because now those young girls you're meeting, they're able to make these mistakes that you made as a young girl. But this time you have the experience. Tell them, guys, trust me, babies don't come if you're not ready. So how, first of all, you can tell us like what leadership position you have in the university and how it is that you got into that space and how you're navigating this season and to helping empower young girls.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think by the time I had shared with the girls there a little of my story, and I
Mm,
told them, if you are going to make a mistake or you feel like you're in a confusion state, just come and talk to me. I really have been there, and I don't feel like I should just sit there and just watch people go through because when you see me right now, you feel like, oh, she's got it all, but it's not easy. It's not easy to walk
mm,
through
mm,
that trauma of being young. You're pregnant, you don't know what to do, you have that kid, you don't know what they're going to eat
mm,
tomorrow, you're worried, you're crying. Okay, I don't feel like young girls should actually really put themselves in that state before they really figure
mm,
out what they want in life. So I thought
mhm, mhm,
that is why I think Mutwen shared with you about
mhm,
me.
mhm,
But I am the vice guild president of Victoria University
mm,
right now.
mhm,
Today I have an event that is going to happen starting actually in a few minutes. It's
mhm,
about it's a I named it a uh, prayer picnic
mhm,
get out for women, ladies. So many students,
mhm,
girls are coming. They are coming. It's going to be like fun
mm,
because picnic. You can when someone feels like, oh, picnic, let's go, let's go. But then I also
mm,
added a prayer. I want us to have a short prayer session, because whatever has
mhm,
happened in my life, I know for sure that it has been good. It has been good.
mm,
It's been God
mm,
from day one, and it's God who can only direct your steps so that you don't make mistakes
mm.
somewhere, because as human beings we are bound to mistakes. Us
Yeah,
ourselves are
yeah.
just mistakes. So
We don't know what we're
you
doing.
don't know what
Even
you're doing.
adults, we are just taking one day at a time.
Whatever
Yeah.
you feel like you want to do, you just go. You feel like, oh, this is trending, I should try it, you just go. It's only
Mm,
God that can
mm, true,
actually
true.
stop, or
Yeah.
either will help you
Mm,
like maneuver a little,
mm,
move through it, or
mm,
move past it,
mm.
and you don't meet those other challenges.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're going to
Yeah.
have a session of prayer. We dedicate our lives to Jesus,
Mm,
and then also we're going to have fun also, but then also talk about
mm,
things that ladies and girls face that we must either
mm,
avoid, because I really feel like it's very costly
mm,
if you wait to learn through your mistakes. It costs you a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
if you wait to learn through your mistakes. If you can find a way to dodge learning through your mistakes, that's the best way.
Mm,
When we were young, they used to tell
yeah.
us, our parents told us, our teachers told us, don't do this, and you would feel like they're actually getting to your nerves. And
What do you know?
until we faced it.
Mm,
Like I
mm,
feel like learning from mistakes, yes, is also learning, but it
yeah,
weighs you
yeah.
down. It's draining.
True.
Most people lose
Mm, mm,
their mental health through that. It's not everyone
yeah,
manages to
yeah.
get through it, learn from their mistakes, and also still keep moving. Some people,
Yeah, true.
then when they reach there, they just lose themselves. They lose their dreams along the way. Even
Mm,
nowadays, people are like they go to drugs. They want to drink all the
yes,
time
yes,
so they
yes.
can at least
Yeah.
forget for a minute what is going on in their lives. But
Mm,
if we can
mm,
really,
mm.
really dodge, it would be more helpful. Me, I'm going. That's what I'm preaching. If you can manage to dodge learning through experiences, it's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. So, you have said so much, and I'm so sad that you have very little time, but maybe we can always talk in the future. But I want you to just a little bit, I have two more questions. So, I want to find out like what, because you mentioned there's like this gap between you, figuring things out, and that gap of you being my mom was also a teen mom, and she had us, and I'm telling you, unlike you, she didn't have the opportunity to go back to school because then she had two kids and then life happened. And then next thing she knows, I'm like, okay, wait, I have four kids now and life has moved on. And sometimes we look at her now and like she's having the time of her life. And you're like, hey, you look like your life was like, it's good that you had kids early
I
because now you're in your 50s and life is just beginning while other people are there paying school fees and all that stuff. So sometimes it can be envious to look at someone like that and think, oh, yeah, I should have had kids young. But I guess, like I said, everyone has their journey. Like if you make mistakes, you find yourself there and you figure out a way. But God helps you as a Christian. God helps you along the way. So what are some of those other obstacles? Because someone might just be like, okay, she had kids, she struggled. What is struggle? Like what were some of those challenges that you faced that you can see through the lens of purpose that have helped in this person that you are right now, how you're able to empower other young girls? Maybe someone could be listening and they want to know, like, clearly, how they are telling us in class, do not talk to boys. It's like, what is going to happen when I talk to the boys? Explain. Explain, because all you're telling me is don't. So don't get pregnant. Why shouldn't I get pregnant at
know.
19? Explain, please.
All right.
You made it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like actually, like you said,
Yeah.
there are people
Mm-hmm,
who
mm-hmm.
don't get pregnant when they are young, and they wait until they get
Mm.
married, and sometimes they don't even get a conceive or get
They
a
get,
chance to get
yeah,
babies.
true. Yeah,
There are
true.
also
Yeah.
people who get who get pregnant like me when they are really young, and they
Mm-hmm,
manage. I
mm-hmm,
mean, by
mm-hmm.
when I'm 40, my daughter will be 20. Of course, you can imagine someone nowadays that will be like, oh, even today, their girls will be like, I wish wish I had just had babies earlier like you, something like that. So, but
Yeah, yeah.
it is so easy to see a picture of me with my kids and you admire. So what
Mm-hmm,
people do not know is when you are alone in the house and you have your
mm-hmm.
child is sick and you are 20 or 19 years and you don't know what to do. And you have that sleepless night, no figuring out what is wrong with this child. The child is crying. You don't know why they are crying. You yourself, you are
Mm-hmm,
young, so you are
mm-hmm,
drained. You're
mm-hmm,
like,
mm-hmm.
what do I do?
Yeah,
What next? I have no
yeah.
doubt for sure that whatever happened in my past is what has shaped me for who I am today. Because if I had not gone
Mm,
through that, maybe I would be there.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I would be. I just don't know who I would be.
Meandering.
Meandering with no nothing. But
No
that
direction. Because 26 is the age where you're trying to figure out what is happening.
20 from the, I mean, I didn't have
Yeah.
the time to even get, have
Yeah, you
the
were
time,
busy
have
being a
fun
mom.
as a
Mm-hmm.
child, as a young
Mm-hmm.
girl, go out
Mm-hmm.
there. I didn't have that
Mm-hmm.
time. I
Yeah.
did not. I
Yeah.
didn't. So,
Mm.
not because I was smarter or holier or what, but just because
Mm.
her life was happening to me when other people were going out to enjoy their
Yeah.
young age,
Yeah.
to enjoy who they
Mm.
are, that time, the
Mm.
age they are. So
Mm.
I feel like yes, it is a good thing to have babies. Nice.
Mm.
Myself, it shaped my
Mm.
life. It shaped
Mm.
me. It got me responsible at a young age. I started because
Mm.
you have this child. You have you
Mm.
must figure out how they are going to survive. You're not going to sleep
Mhm.
there and
Mhm.
watch your child go hungry or on
Yeah.
an empty
Yeah.
stomach. So it forces you.
Yeah.
It actually forces you to do something
Forces you to
about
grow
it.
up. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mm.
so I feel like it shaped my life in a way, but also some people, like I said, there are very many teenage mothers out there who, when they
Mm.
get through that, they can not get a way out. Sometimes they throw their kids out
Mm.
on the streets. Some throw them in the toilets.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I
Life
feel like,
becomes too hard. Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like we are not all mentally or emotionally stronger, or we are not the same people. And my
Mm.
blessing is not so and so's blessing. So I feel
Someone.
like
Yeah. Yeah. Some
the
people
right,
have
when
it
you do the
harder.
right thing, actually at
Mm-hmm.
least it weighs down some stress. You're not going to go through some things when you're doing the right thing, like when
Mm.
you go to school, you finish school,
Mm.
you get what to do, you
Mm.
get married, you get
Mm.
a husband, then you are in your house with your
Mm.
husband, you have a child. I feel
Mm.
like yes,
Mm.
they also have their challenges, but at least when you have done the
Mm.
right thing, you are not going to blame yourself or have those sleepless nights blaming yourself, or even people
Mm.
looking at you like you are, in Africa.
Mm.
People looking at you like you killed a person, then you go blaming yourself, then you carry that.
You are the worst of sinners. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can talk about this. How did you deal with that as when you were a teen mom? How did you deal with society looking on you at you saying your life is over?
I think personally, I'm a person who naturally I'm a carefree person. That's why I
Hmm.
don't mind. Even there are many girls of my age who have kids, but they hide them. They find someone has left the
Mm.
child in the village, or they will never talk about them. So,
Mm.
me, I'm a carefree person. Like this is who I am.
You didn't care.
Take me or don't.
Mm.
That's your business. But also, my mom
Yeah.
helped me when she got to know out later.
When did you finally tell her, by the way? You
I
left us at the part where
I
you
told
had
her.
run away.
I
When
told
did
her
you
when
tell
I was.
your mom?
I told her when I was 8 months. 8 months. I got the courage. I called my phone. I called her.
So this whole time you're in Kampala.
Yeah, hiding.
Of course, it was too late for her to say, hey, what? It was like, my dear, the pregnancy is here. You can fight, but the baby is here.
I called her, but she, as a woman, had I think she had
Mm,
thought about it. She looked for
empathy.
something that
Yeah.
could get me run away from home, and she could not get it. I think she just kept
Mm,
praying, Lord, bring back my daughter. I think by the time I came back, she was
mm.
just happy that I am back.
Did you go back home?
No, I first called her. I first called her and she was like, oh, and I told them, she was like, oh, you're pregnant. I was like, yeah. She was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm in Kampala. She's like, please come home.
Mm,
She was like,
mm.
please come, please. I was like, okay. I just
Yeah.
went home and she welcomed me. So I feel like she also helped me. Some mothers, some
Mm,
parents
mm.
are also the cause of
Yeah.
the trauma that their kids get.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
a mistake
True,
has
true.
already happened, something has already happened, but
Mm,
someone is so hard on their
mm.
child, and they get
Yes.
them,
You're
they
making it
cause them
worse.
to
Yeah.
go there. They don't even want
Mm,
to come back home.
mm.
Whatever you meet
Yes, that's
outside home is terrible.
mm,
Trauma. Some people
mm.
just get traumatized because of their parents. So I feel like also this
Very
should go to the
true.
parents. When something has already happened, you don't have
Yeah,
what
there's
to
nothing
do.
you
I
can
think you
do.
should
Yeah.
just embrace
Mm.
it, because there is always something good
Yeah,
that
you're
comes.
already learning from your mistakes, so they don't need to add on to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like your life is already, that's amazing. I love how you've shared this, and it's always, they usually say when you're like, for instance, right now you're in leadership at the university. These are the ages when kids are going through. Like I personally shared this in the episode about me. I used to, like I was telling you about my partying, enjoying, and all that. So when I see the position I am in right now, I feel like I'm the right person to go and meet that person. And I say, hey, I understand what you're going through. Like this parting, there is a reason why you're going through this every day. So it's easy for me to recognize myself in that young child and that young girl and be like, yeah, I've been there and I can help you, let me help you. And through that lens is how I have come up with the platform. Like everything that I went through, everything that my mom went through. Because I was now like you, I am by the time my mom had me, she was no longer a teenager, but she was in her early 20s. So I am your children right now, basically, because I experienced it, but on the other end, like having to grow up with a mom, single mom who is growing up. She's like, she just made a, one time mistake, had a kid, and then she had another one. And so I am your child. And so also through her experience growing up with a single mom who is like you trying to figure life out, she has no clue what she's doing, but she's trying to figure everything out. So I had to also grow up and be like, instead of blaming this woman, what she wasn't able to do with what she was given, let me learn from her experience and how it impacted me and help other women out there who are going through the same thing, or other children out there who are going through the same thing. So basically, how the Bible says everything, God works it, even if it was your mistake, He works it out together for your good.
For your good,
Because
yeah.
you can make this mistake, but at the end of the day, God is using it to help you, to help other young girls who might, because you might find someone who is at the verge of making that mistake, and then they hear your story and they're like, no, I'm not going to do it because I have heard from Sheila that this is what happened. So I love that, and I know that because you have the experience, the life experience, you will do big things because people will be drawn to you to know, this girl knows what she's talking about. She's not just out there preaching. People who tell you, don't try to have kids. You have no kids. What are you basing your experience on? You get it? Like a person telling you, don't do this, don't do this, but they have never done any of those things. So that means you might not listen to them as you would listen to a person who is telling you something. Like it makes more sense. So before I see it's raining, I hope the event is not going to be affected.
It's
But I
okay.
had one more question.
It's okay.
So
Go on.
I wanted to ask, how do you see your purpose and contributions growing as you look ahead? And what role do you think a platform like SheCentre can play in supporting women through this process of discovering and evolving their purpose?
So, as where I'm standing now, I am very invested in politics. I'm a politician.
Mm-hmm.
I've already run at the university level. I'm also running at the district level as a female affairs youth in the youth
Wow. Is
council.
it in where you're staying in Kampala?
No, in my district, my home district is Turuhura.
As a you're running as a district one?
Female affairs in the youth council.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and
I really
hopefully,
hope you win. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah,
hopefully we
you will
go
win.
through. So politically, I
Mm-hmm.
am on my journey. I'm
Mm-hmm.
set. I mean, I'm already set. I am working towards it. I want to do the female affairs, and then the future also will come. The future will come. And in fact, we are the one who are coming for the future. We are coming for the future.
True.
So and
Mm.
then of course I am studying. I'm probably gonna graduate like next year. In the end of next year, or
Mm-hmm.
the other year, and then
Mm.
I'll be a professional journalist. Then, but I'm also still practicing journalist as I study.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I've set my things. I've set my things like this, and I am not leaving any stone unturned. Right now, I'm working on each and everything. Then I feel like
Yeah.
everyone's responsibility, actually everyone's purpose, why God creates all of us, is to lift each other or to help each other where we can. That's our purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I
Yeah.
really, really, really thank you for starting the SheCentre platform.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's going to
Yeah.
help a lot of people. I pray
Yeah.
and
Thank you.
really pray that you get many subscribers and it gets viral, and with time you get to. I know you have bigger plans for it. So I really pray
Yeah.
and pray for you that all you endeavor to make happen with this platform, they come
Mm.
true and they come to you. Um,
Yeah.
as I finalize about the same question, I feel like every lady, women are very powerful. We are created in a way, and some women just just perish, or they don't understand because they don't know they don't know who they are. We don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
We don't know what things we can do, because we have almost we have been engraved with everything any person needs to make it happen in life. I also do not like the fact that the boy child is being ignored so much nowadays in the name of empowering women, because I feel like yes, we can empower women, we can empower ourselves, but if we do not empower the men, the boys, the boy children, then these women, these empowered women, are going to end up suffering in the hands of the unempowered men. That is why I
Yeah,
feel like the
true.
marriages are perishing nowadays, because women are easy to empower. They can
Empowered, yeah, by
easily
the
go
brain.
with the flow, but then you look for a man who you're going to place your empowered self, whose hands you're going to place your empowered self, and you can't find, which is
True.
really, I feel like it's terrible, and it's absurd, because many men nowadays don't know their responsibilities. They don't know what they're supposed to do. They don't know exactly. Someone is just there being a manager. They don't know exactly what to do. And I feel like the eyes have been so much shifted from them, and they have been so much placed on women. So as
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is a SheCentre, I don't know if you only invite women, but maybe in the future you should also get those
I have
topics.
had a man, and I'm hoping to have many more, like in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like we
yeah.
should also include the men on this SheCentre, because as long as we want to empower the women, we should carry our men with us. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
only way
true.
we can
Yeah,
have better
yeah.
families.
Walk hand in hand.
Yeah. That's the way you
Yeah,
can have better families, because if the head of the family is not
yeah.
doing anything, is not
Yes,
empowered, is
true.
just there ignored, then we don't have families. Then these children are going to
Very
grow
true.
up in
That's very true.
in homes where they don't have a head. They will grow up in the way they just want, and then they will also
Yes,
do the
yes.
same things in the future, which is not going to,
Yeah,
which is not right for the
yeah.
country that we want, for the nation, for the world that we want to live.
That's
Yeah.
very true. Yeah. And we gave birth to them, so it's our responsibility to
Exactly.
empower them anyway. Yeah. Because we
Exactly.
are we are their source. We gave birth to them. So if there's anything along the way that didn't work properly, it's because we probably as women didn't do everything that we can. So at the end of the day, it all comes back to the woman. So I love that. I love that so much. And thank you so much. So yes, I was asking, yeah, you said about empowering them. Do you have any plans, for instance, or maybe something you can share that can speak to a woman out there? It could be a pregnant girl, like right now she's pregnant and she's like going through it. She's making, maybe contemplating terminating the pregnancy, or it could be a woman who is in that beginning stage of yours, who is trying to figure things out. Can you say something out to them, to encourage them, or something that you would say to yourself, your younger self?
First of all, there's one stage I went through when I was pregnant at 19 years, and because I was hiding. My family did not know where I was, and my friends, they felt like I was a burden to them. And went some day, like 2 days, without food, without having what to eat. And I'm in Kampala. I'm just there until my neighbor just came through for me. Like they were like, "What is this person doing in this house?" They opened, and I was almost dying. And they gave me food, and I mean a lot of details that I did not go through that happened. So there are people
Yeah.
there who are going through like such a day that I went through. That day, but somehow me going through all that, I had hope. I kept my hope. I knew, like, after having this child, I can go back to school. I kept that thing in my mind. It kept in my mind, kept ringing, like, after having this child, I think I can get a job. And I go to the gym, I get back my body. It kept that one. I didn't lose it
Yeah.
at any time. I would cry.
Yeah.
After crying, I look myself in the mirror. I'm like, after
Yeah.
having this baby, I think
Can do it.
I can get a job or do this or do that. I did not lose the hope. So one thing that I really want to send a message, if I would send a message to anyone out there, whether they are pregnant, whether they are not, whether they are going through anything as young girls, as women, is that when the devil wants to attack you, they make you lose hope. for the future.
Mm-hmm.
When you have
Mm-hmm.
lost hope,
Mm-hmm.
then just know you're done. If there's
Yeah, they've
anything you
killed your
should
dream. Yeah.
really hold so tight, is the hope to
Onto
become a
it.
better
Yeah.
person. So because
Mm.
you can go, you can grow as long as your mind can think. You can,
Mm,
anything can
mm,
happen. Anything. Right now, I have a car, I have my business, I have my investments. I have, like,
mm-hmm.
I do. That's there's
Yes.
some person
Yes.
who was in the house that day and they almost died
Mm.
carrying
Yeah.
a baby.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it is, and I want to assure you that the only thing that has kept these things coming is the hope that something good can happen each day, every day. There's You just have to wake up and show up every day, but
True.
show up with the
True.
mindset that something good can happen to you every day.
Yeah.
So if there's
Mm.
anything
Yeah.
that someone should not lose, is the hope to become a better person, the hope to become
Yes.
a better person. Is that one, because it starts
Mm.
with the imagination. It is the imagination that
Mm.
creates things in reality. So when you lose
Mm.
it, when you lose the hope, when you feel like, oh, I'm done now, me, who is going to look at me? Just,
Mm.
I mean, what am I? I'm done. No, my baby mama.
Yeah. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's no longer. It's
Like,
not
just
over
know you have
until.
lost it. So that's how
Yeah.
the devil works. He makes sure that he whispers those things to you over and over again, so that you don't have even the
Mm-hmm.
courage to show up tomorrow. But
Yes. Yes.
we can become. There's nothing you cannot manage to go through. There's nothing
Mm.
totally. If it's not the only death.
Mm-hmm.
But all these other things,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not sick,
Yeah.
that you're in the hospital or crippled, or even if you're crippled, there's always something you
People
can do.
can still make
And
it.
there's
Yeah.
all,
Because there are
but
many women who are crippled. Yeah. And they have
yeah, and they're
children and they
doing
can
well,
make
and
it
they're
through. Yeah.
doing well. It
Yeah.
is the hope
Mm.
to become a better person, and
Mm.
also to act upon it, to make sure that yes, you have the
Mm.
hope, yes, you imagine it, but what are you doing? What are you doing to achieve it? Because
Mm.
someone is there, they want to become a business person. They claim they
Mm.
don't have the capital, and yes, maybe they don't have the capital, but also they're not
Mm.
doing any research about that business they want to do. They haven't
Yeah,
moved
because they're
around to
investors
see, if
these
I want
days.
to sell
Mm.
clothes, let me go to that shop and
Mm.
see how do they arrange their things,
Yes,
how where do
yes,
they get their
yeah.
things from. But they have
Mm-hmm,
data to
mm-hmm.
put on their phone and be online and be on
And go on
TikTok.
TikTok. Very good. Thank you very much. No
So
excuse in this era.
yeah, so I feel like it is only if you want to just put your excuses to be a loser,
Mm-hmm,
you're just making
mm-hmm.
excuses. But
Yeah, yeah,
when God sees you doing researching, I mean,
yeah.
that's how good things
Things
come
work
to you. They're
out
not
for
going to
you.
find you
Yeah.
in your bed on your TikTok. No.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. I like that.
my advice out to the girls, to the ladies, to the women, is to carry
Mm-hmm,
the hope. That one, you
mm-hmm.
should not lose it even
Yeah.
at any day. The faith, the hope to
Mm-hmm,
become a better person each and every day. Every level you reach, you
mm-hmm,
want to become a better person. You reach the level
mm-hmm.
you want to, I mean, you should not just relax and be comfortable. It's
Yeah,
convenience
yeah.
that kills everything. Even
Yes.
these men you see, they also, I think, feel like the girls that want to become better over and over again, they
Mm-hmm,
threaten them
mm-hmm.
in a way that they are like, oh, they love challenges. So if it's a woman who you're
Yes,
there, you
yes.
have kids, and you just want to be there, nothing, you bore the man. You bore even the men. They are
Mm-hmm.
bored. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
trying to become a better person over and over again is very attractive
yeah.
to both
And
the
it
men
helps
and
your family. Yeah,
the
yeah.
to your children, to your friends. It's very
Mm-hmm.
attractive. It's
Yeah,
very attractive to have
yeah.
the hope to want to become a better
Wow.
person, and also act, however
Yeah.
small, whichever step you're taking to becoming who you want to
Mm-hmm.
become. It is very crucial. There's
Mm-hmm.
Is it Miles Monroe said that every day you're going to sleep in the night, you first ask yourself what thing did you do that made you tired, that that is leading you to your dreams. In other words, if something is making you tired and yet
Don't
is
go
not
to sleep if you
leading you
didn't
to
do
your
anything.
dreams, it's
I like that. I like that. I like
that
that.
before you sleep,
Hmm.
ask, I am tired, yes, but
Why?
why am I tired?
What did you do?
Did I do anything
TikTok.
that is leading me to my dream, however small? Did you read a book?
Yeah,
Did you research about
true.
anything? Did you
I
talk to
love
some
that.
people
Yeah,
who and listen
I
to
love
good
that. Yeah.
ideas? Better those people who are
Mm,
ahead of
mm,
you.
mm,
Did you
mm.
and there's a tendency of ladies with competition. You want you see, and I mean this whole social media
Yeah.
thing, you want to see,
Mm,
you want to, you have seen a picture of so and so, you don't know where they are, you don't know how they got there, because you just saw a picture or a video and you just want to go, and you
yeah.
also feel like immediately you want to have that. So it's
Mm-hmm,
competition that
mm-hmm.
is killing us, and it is becoming
Mm-hmm.
very, yeah, it's of course coming through social media. So you find
Yes,
you
of
only
course.
have
Yeah. It's a
data
tough era.
to be on social
Mm-hmm.
media, but you want to compete with the person who is in Greece at a vacation. You don't even
Mm.
know how they
You don't
got
know
there.
how they got there.
You don't know. You don't know where. Because I'll take a picture when I'm in Greece, but maybe you don't know how I went, or maybe I even went to work there. I went to work.
Mm,
I will just sneak a picture at a beach and post. You don't know.
mhm.
Then you also
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
suddenly you want to go to the beach. Also, you
that's
want,
true. Yeah,
and
that's
people
true.
are
Yeah, you have to be content, yeah, with what you
so
have.
the more you want to become the other person you admire, the more you find that you're
Mm.
losing out yourself, who you are.
Yes,
You're trying
yes.
to jump stages. You're trying to just move from 0 to 10, and it's tiresome. But the time you want to pick up that person you have lost in the process, it might be too late. So I feel like we need to just be calm and
Wow.
go step by step. Just be calm.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you have today is that's what you have, and then tomorrow is better.
Mm,
Tomorrow is better. The other day is better. Like that, like that.
mm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Girl, you're ready to be a leader. I've given you my vote. I am coming to Mbarara. My husband is from Mbarara just to vote wherever you're coming from. Thank you so much. This is really clearly they say I have forgotten what the word is. I don't know if you know a lady called Sarah Jakes Roberts. Do you know her?
That's my girl. That's my woman.
Because
Oh,
when you were talking, I was thinking about her. I'm like, this is her. You are her. Of course, your stories are similar in such an interesting way. She is someone who right now is doing so
she's
much,
on
and
fire.
she is talking so
Sarah
much
Jakes is
about.
on
I was
fire.
listening to her motivation video the other day, and she was talking exactly what you've been saying, like laziness, waking up every day, you don't have direction, like you don't know what you're doing, you're just there. And she was like, you need to. And this is someone who was 13 and she had a child, and right now she's out here impacting the world. So clearly, you are the true definition. Like, you know how God, or like, it's like, I will get my glory out of any situation as long as you hold on to, like you said, that hope to believe that I can do it, no matter how, like, you might not become Sheila as wherever she is, but wherever you are, like you said, I like how you concluded with it. Like, not only are you going to make it out because God will give you the grace and the strength to, but when you do, don't start competing with those who have, because you don't know, like, no one knows what effort you have put into to get to where you are. So wherever someone is, maybe they're at where you were at 20, but now they want to be where they don't know. It's a journey, it's a process. Like, you need time to get there. And you see, even you have aspirations, you want to become a politician, and one day you'll be out there as a minister or something, and someone will be saying, Sha, I want her life, but are you sure you want where I was at 19?
I know.
Yeah,
I
do you
usually
want to
want the
go through what I
process.
went through? Do you want to start? Because I was pregnant, and not having, like, not having food for 5 hours can turn you into a monster as a pregnant woman. So you can imagine 2 days. Those are stories that people want to skip over. Like, no one wants to see that in between. They just want to come and get to your finished product and be like, okay, I want to be like whatever politician is there in Uganda. I don't want to mention names in case they are corrupt. But you want to become someone, but you're not thinking, okay, let's use Sarah Jakes Roberts. Like, I want to be like her, I want to be power. And you're like, you have to take everything. Like, you have to be 13, get pregnant, move out, work in a strip club. And get a divorce and have all these kids, and you're like, no, I'm not willing, because this in between is long.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
long. So
Mm.
like you right now, you're giving us like a summary of your life, but I'm sure there are times when you felt like giving up, but you said you woke up and you said, I can do it. That little hope. So thank you so much for that. I don't even have anything else to add. Thank you so much. It's been a blessing to hear your journey. And that's why I started this platform, because I am growing so much from the stories that I listen to and the people who listen to the podcast also. No matter, even if it reaches that one person, they will be impacted, and for me, I'm content. So there are times when I can sit down and be like, maybe I should be like this person, but that's not my journey. Like, so many people have sent me messages and they're like, oh, you should do like Leaning Googie, do this. I'm like, guys, that's Leaning Googie. She has her vision, she has a plan. I have a completely different plan. Don't make me to start competing with her or wanting to be like her, because then I might lose focus of my vision and end up in a direction of someone who has a completely different plan for her life, or God has a different plan for her life. So I have to always have that, like, you remind myself, like, rest it, like, stay on your lane. Stay on your lane. This is your lane. This is this person's lane. I can't wake up and say I want to be Oprah. I don't want to be whatever is out there. I am me, and my journey has led me to me. And I think that's the main thing that the main takeaway that I've gotten from you is, go through it, grow through it, and then when you grow, make their impact and stay focused on you. Like, don't look around and be like, I want. No, just you, because then you will become your unique individual. So thank you once again. I really appreciate it. Stay on.
I want to thank God for you, and for the
Thank you.
idea that He made you bear, and I even started acting upon it. I'm sure He's taking you
Yeah.
very far. One day we shall be here and seeing
Yeah.
you, being like, that's it, that's the podcast.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Yeah, we cannot wait. We cannot, and I'm very glad and
Thank
honored
you.
that I have been part of this. Uh,
Yes, yes.
I'm
Thank
very blessed to be here, and on such
you.
a day, I'm very
I
blessed to
know,
be
Women's Day, right?
here. So another thing that really hurts me, that I would want to advocate for, in the women, the girls that hide their children. They keep. Recently, I had a friend who had the child also when she was young, and then she took the child to the village. The child is with her mom. Yes, she's working and figuring out life. Then she got to meet a man, and then she did not disclose that she has a baby until the
Mm,
man became now very serious, and they wanted to pursue her for marriage. And then now she did not
mm,
know how to bring out that part that she had lied about.
mm,
And it happens, and
mm,
it's very common with girls, with young girls, like feeling like
mm,
low because you have a baby, and feeling like, oh, if
mhm.
I say it, oh, how are they going to see me? Oh, I might even lose out on
Yeah,
chances.
yeah,
Right
sure.
now, I want to assure
Mhm,
you, I
mhm,
have two children, but men are around me. I'm the one to pick, to be like, let me go with this one. Let me go with this one. And we don't even have babies. Who don't even have
I
any
like
baby.
that. Yeah.
So it is
Mm,
it is
mm,
something that
mm,
young girls do not know, that when you show up as
mm,
who you are,
mm,
truly the real
mm,
you're becoming
mm, yeah.
real and accepting that now, okay, this is me, and you accept. It
Mhm,
starts with you
mhm,
accepting
mhm,
yourself, and then you keep working, adding value on yourself. I want to tell you
mm,
that thing is very attractive, very attractive. Me,
mm,
I walk around with
mm,
my children, and men are like, they just come find me at the table, like, oh, that's beautiful children. I'm like, thank you. And they're like, you're young, are they
mm,
your kids? I'm like, yeah, they are mine. And they're like, how, what are you eating?
mhm,
Then let me pay for your bill. Okay, things like that. Like, it starts with you accepting that this
mm,
is who I am, and that thing
mhm,
attracts.
mhm.
It is very
Yes, I
attractive that
like
someone
that.
says like,
I
oh,
like that.
they're like,
Yeah.
wow. So I feel like it's
Mm,
something that girls have not really mastered, that it is a weapon to accept
yeah.
yourself and be
Mhm,
like, this is who I am,
mm,
and present yourself out there
yeah.
to whoever meets you as you,
Mm,
as you, which
mm,
is very, it
yeah.
is becoming very rare nowadays. Someone wants to
Mm,
show
mm,
up as so, and pretend and lie about themselves, and
yeah.
along the way they lose out on opportunities that are long-term opportunities, just for short-term
Mm,
things. So I feel like I want
mhm.
to really advocate and tell my girls that it is no crime for you to have a child,
True.
and it is
Yeah,
no crime
yeah,
for you
yeah.
to come from a certain
Mm,
family, from a
yeah.
certain village. It is who you are, and keeping that
Mhm,
to yourself will read and presenting yourself out there as who you are. It will help you from other things,
Yeah,
pretending
yeah. It
to be
makes you
who.
unique,
It will
It
even
makes
make
you
you
unique
unique,
in this
because in
story.
this world we
Yeah,
are having a lot of fake things. A lot of fake things.
exactly.
Everyone
Yeah,
is
yeah.
living a fake
That's
life.
true.
Everyone is
Mm-hmm.
having a fake body part. I mean, so you being who you are, the real you, it is
Mm-hmm.
becoming unique, and that is what is selling
Yes.
nowadays. If people do not know,
Yeah,
is what is
that's
some
true.
people, sensible people, are looking for a person who is real.
Yeah, because how long can you hide who you truly are? Like, what was your friend thinking? Like, okay, I can't judge because I understand. Like, I understand, but I guess even me myself, like where I am right now, I'm thinking this is why a platform like this is important, because such girls, the society has made them feel like they need to hide who they are. Like, I made this mistake and it's who I am for the rest of my life. They need to be empowered to be able, like, hearing your voice and saying, okay, so I can have my power. I can, I can be strong. Sarah Jakes Roberts has a new book which is called, I think, Power Moves. And she's talking about how power moves with you wherever you go. So if you move into a room, you are powerful there. If you've gotten into a situation, you are powerful there. Like, you make power moves, but your power moves with you as well. So it's like an explanation on both ends. And I like that because you can get into a room. Campus is quite intimidating, yeah? People are young, their boobs are, up,
No,
and you're out there, yeah, you're like, guys, my breasts are dripping, I have to breastfeed, it's easy for you in that moment to feel like I need to fit in because then I won't be a part. We have this thing of competition as girls, like, I want to fit in, I don't want to feel like I'm different, I don't want people to make fun of me, I want boys to like me. But if that boy only likes you because he thinks you're not pregnant, then he'll find out eventually. Like, where do you see this whole plan going? Let someone who really likes you end up where, like, let them like you. If they are not, then let them go away. They are not meant to, because you can't hide your child. I also know people who hide their children. That is one thing that I know of. So I know that no matter how much, of course, you'd want to think of this girl, you have to also realize that it's us to blame, society. You're walking around, you see a 16-year-old pregnant, and you already canceled them. Like, you're already telling them how their life is over. But if we looked at them and said, don't worry, you will make it. And the most cases, it's like my mom right now meeting you and then telling you, oh, you're gone. Like, woman, you're also pregnant at the same age you get. So there are many people who made the same mistakes, but they are not giving the same grace to the people who are going through it. Like, you can't meet that girl and say, don't worry, I've been where you are, you will make it. So I like that you ended up with that. And is there anything else you want to say?
yeah, really nothing much. I think we have said it all. But thank you so much. God
Mhm,
bless you, you and your
mhm.
family.
God bless you.
First of
Yeah,
all,
thank
for the
you.
work you're doing, this is very good.
Mhm,
It's going to impact a lot of
thank
women out there. Even you said
you.
you also host men. Make sure that one you don't
Mhm.
leave them out.
I've
You're
had one
carrying
and I plan to
them.
have another one. We
Yeah,
haven't
we're
made an
carrying them with
appointment
us.
yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're carrying them with us.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's
eventually
true.
it is you
Mhm,
good that you found your purpose,
Your
because this
thing
is
mhm,
is
purposeful. It is purposeful that God has given you the idea and you're working towards it, and you are doing
mhm,
something about it. So eventually God
mhm,
will make sure that whatever He has placed you here for will be accomplished
mhm.
through
Amen. I
to
receive
also
it.
His people. Yeah, thank you so much for
Amen.
the, yeah,
Amen.
thank you for the privilege. God bless you. I
Yeah,
appreciate.
thank you.
Mm.
You too. Thank you so much. And I really hope you can send me some pictures of your event and see how everything went. I
Okay.
hope it goes well.
All right.
Please help me spread the word by sharing our episodes with your friends, family, and followers. Let's amplify the voices of women, break barriers, challenge stereotypes, and create a network of support and empowerment. Together, we can bring about positive change and make this world a better place for all. This is SheCentre, the female podcast, where women's stories matter. I love you all. God bless.